Hey, welcome into the channel, you guys. I hope everybody is doing well. So what are we going to talk about today? We have a full moon in Sagittarius on May 31st. It is a rare blue moon. So I plan on doing timestamps for everybody, so you can jump around, come back to the zodiac signs later if you choose to view any of the zodiac signs, if you're called to it, because we do all embody all 12 zodiac signs. It occupies one of the astrology houses, but you do what you're called to. So let's get into this, shall we? And let's talk a little bit about this special blue moon. All right. So it is going to be one of the most emotionally and spiritually revealing lunations of the year. So the full moon in Sagittarius, it's not just any full moon. It is a blue moon, okay? That is rare energetic amplification point that acts like a cosmic spotlight over the collective consciousness. So blue moons have always carried an aura of intensity, culmination, and accelerated destiny. They tend to expose truths people have ignored. It's going to amplify emotions that have been buried, and it's going to force major realizations that cannot be unseen. When this happens in Sagittarius, this is the sign of truth, expansion, philosophy, higher knowledge, freedom, travel, spirituality, media, and belief systems. So the collective is going to feel a massive push toward awakening. This is breakthrough energy. This is the kind of lunation that is going to change perspectives forever. And because Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, the planet of expansion, the full moon has the ability to magnify everything it touches. So the emotions become louder. Truths become unavoidable. Your restlessness intensifies. The desire for freedom is going to grow stronger. People may suddenly realize they've outgrown certain relationships. Some will be careers. Others will be just outgrown environments and belief systems, or even their entire identity. So the full moon is asking one major question for each of us. And it's, what truth can you no longer ignore? So the Sagittarius full moon illuminates where people have become mentally trapped, spiritually stagnant, emotionally restricted, or disconnected from their authentic path. The energy pushes the collective into bigger thinking. It wants everybody to stop playing small. It wants people to stop abandoning their future just because of their fears. But Sagittarius energy can also become extreme. So during this full moon, you may find people speak impulsively. They're going to overreact emotionally. and make reckless decisions. They're going to rebel against authority. They're going to feel intensely restless. They're going to crave escapism and become brutally honest. Some may expose secrets. Others are going to have spiritual awakenings. And some suddenly walk away from situations that just feel too limiting. The full moon can also bring explosive truths to the surface on a global level. So we can expect major conversations happening and involving politics. This can be around media, religion, education, international affairs, social belief systems, free speech, travel, internet culture, and spiritual communities. Sagittarius energy wants the truth over comfort, and the full moon may force many of us to confront truths we've been avoiding. So the blue moon carries intensified culmination energy. It will act much like a pressure cooker emotionally. So things that have been building underneath the surface are suddenly going to erupt. So you're going to find people becoming emotionally overwhelmed. They're going to feel spiritually exhausted, but also we're going to be highly intuitive, and we're not going to tolerate fake energy anymore. We are going to be pulled towards making major life decisions. We're just simply going to be desperate for change and actually called towards purpose. So blue moons often accelerate these endings and breakthroughs for all of us. They actually tend to create the timeline shift. So many people are going to look back at this period and they're going to realize that was the moment everything changed. Because Sagittarius rules expansion and our future vision. The full moon may push many people into new journeys. Some are going to have relocations. Some will have spiritual paths that they take. Some of us are going to have career pivots. Some of us are going to have travel opportunities that pop up that we plan to take. Some will have new educational pursuits. And some of us will be noticed more visibly in the public. And then there's going to be the opportunity to take creative risks. So this is highly activating energy for the collective. So some of the themes around this full moon could be, well, some could be experiencing truth bombs and revelations. So hidden information could actually surface pretty rapidly. People may suddenly expose what they truly think or feel. And those relationships that are built on avoidance or dishonesty could actually crack under pressure. The energy does not tolerate anything being suppressed. So another theme is people wanting freedom versus restriction. And they may feel emotionally trapped. The Sagittarius energy creates a powerful urge to escape environments that feel very limiting. So it could very much trigger the job changes, relationship endings, sudden travel plans popping up, and a lot of us having major spiritual awakenings. And it could also do major lifestyle shifts. Another theme is the spiritual awakening. So Sagittarius actually rules our higher consciousness. So people are going to start questioning their own beliefs, their purpose, their future, their direction, their spiritual path. The full moon can bring profound downloads and intuitive clarity. There could be emotional burnout during this full moon. Sagittarius energy is fiery, it's expansive. So the emotions may become a little extra exaggerated. People could feel emotionally scattered during that time. So it's very essential to make sure people are grounding during this full moon. So as a collective, what should we try to avoid? Well, you want to avoid making impulsive decisions. Avoid reckless spending and avoid escapism. Try to avoid emotional outbursts. And let's not be arrogant. Self-righteousness behavior. Don't overpromise. And avoid burning bridges when unnecessary. Sagittarius energy can become reckless when our emotions take over. The challenge will be balancing the freedom with the wisdom. So the best ways to harness this energy, it's powerful energy for manifesting, vision broadening, journaling, spiritual practices, planning travel, releasing limiting beliefs, public speaking, teaching, expansive creation, taking courageous risks. So you have to ask yourself, what truth have you been avoiding? Where are you limiting yourself? What future is meant for you? What no longer aligns with your growth? So, we're going to break this down by zodiac sign now. I'm going to pull some cards, but first let's get a little information on what the theme is for the zodiac sign. And as I always say, check for your rising, your sun, and your moon. But if you feel called to watching all of them, by all means, do what you're called to. So let's start off with Aries. So this is going to activate the 9th house. So the full moon is expanding travel, higher learning, your spirituality, and your future vision. The major awakening period for you. So you're going to suddenly realize your current life is too small for your future envision. So the themes around this for you are going to be travel, relocation, your education, spiritual growth, publishing, teaching, content creation, expansion opportunities. So you could feel called to completely reinvent your direction. A major truth about your future path could emerge during this time. It is also a powerful time for visibility. Your voice could reach larger audiences, but you got to avoid impulsive decisions driven by your frustrations. So you got to think long term. So let's see, what do we got here for Aries? gratitude. Yes. Always practice gratitude for what you have. And when you practice gratitude for what you have, that's how more comes to you, right? If you have the need for always wanting, my life's not enough. I'm not happy where I'm at. It's, this job isn't doing it for me. Whatever that is that's coming up. Maybe you feel like, you're not getting out enough. Remember, travel will be popping up. Be grateful for the things that you have. And when you're grateful and you say to yourself, yeah, I want more. I want more for my life. But be thankful for what you have and be thankful for how far you've come. That's when your manifestations can come in more. So let's get a couple more cards on this gratitude, please, for Aries. Six of Wands. Remember, ego. And then you have the Knight of Cups. So the Knight of Cups is you having a dream. There's something your heart is called to. But don't let your ego get in the way, because the Six of Wands can be about success. But watch the ego and be thankful for what it is that you do have, so you can be successful going towards what your heart desires. What is it your dream is, okay? Let's pull an emotional card for you. Doubt. Doubt is the lack of trust in yourself or others' abilities, often stemming from fear or uncertainty. When doubt appears, it reminds you to return to your inner belief. Trust yourself, as you have the wisdom and strength to overcome challenges before you. So don't doubt yourself. Remember, as ego is also a good thing. Ego gets you up, it gets you to get showered, it gets you to brush your teeth, and it gets you to get out and go after your goals. Don't ever doubt what you're capable of. But also, like I said, be mindful of not having too much ego during this time. Aries, you are very bold. You are very ambitious. You can be impulsive. So you're really going to need to watch being impulsive during this time and not being too impatient. Remember, sometimes manifestations of what our heart desires and our dreams and the things that we want to do take time. Okay? Sometimes the universe needs to move things around, but the first thing first is they have to see you taking the step, the action towards what it is that you want. Is it going to happen overnight? No. I mean, you could get lucky and it could. But the universe needs to see that you're taking the steps and not doubting yourself. So practice gratitude for what it is that you have, and you will get more. All right, so I'm going to pause, I'm going to shuffle, and then we will go on to Taurus. All right, Taurus, let's see what's going on for you. This full moon is activating your 8th house. So this is about transformation, intimacy, shared finances, debts, fears, endings, psychology, and rebirth. So this one is deeply emotional energy. So you may find yourself confronting emotional attachments, financial entanglements, relationship power dynamics, hidden fears, trust issues. Something buried may finally surface for you during this time. The full moon pushes you towards emotional liberation. Financial revelations could also occur. Some Tauruses may pay off debt, restructure finances, or severe unhealthy energetic ties. Spiritually, this is a rebirth portal. You are shedding an old version of yourself, my friend. So, what do we have for Taurus? Let's get some cards for you. See what other messages we have for Taurus. Time. Everything happens in divine timing, my friend, and this feels like it's your time. But what is it your time for, right? Is it about your finances? Are you going to reevaluate them? Are you going to reevaluate the people you're involved with? You know, everything is in divine timing. And this may have been whatever it is that you need to focus on during this time. Whether it is unhealthy ties to people, whether it's, you know, getting your finances together. This is the divine timing for you. Let's get more. Yeah, 41. The card 41 reduces to 5. So this is change. It is time to change. What that is different. King of Cups. The Knight of Swords. This feels very much this feels very much like it's going to be a time where, you know, Taurus, I feel you can be more emotionally stable, much like the King of Cups. But I do feel like the emotions are going to be uncomfortable for you. And so with the Knight of Swords is, you know, this can be somebody rushing in to say something impulsively. You may want to watch how you approach the Sun. So this is you actively taking the time, because it is a divine timing, to rush towards what makes you happy, getting to the truth. The Sun, you know, shows the truth. It puts the spotlight. Remember, that's what this full moon is about. It's spotlighting, you know, our conscious minds. And I think you, my friend, while you can become fearless and speak openly, you're also going to want to make sure your emotions are in check when you do this, and to not say something that's going to burn a bridge with somebody. So let's do the emotional card here. Yeah, because, you know, the Knight of Swords can be impulsive with the words, you know, speaking a little too quickly. But it's also a good thing, because it can say, hey, don't be afraid to speak up either. Just keep yourself emotionally in check so you don't burn those bridges. Let's get an emotional card here. Woo. Yeah, hope. Ha! Hope is a bridge to the future. Remember, I was saying, you want to be careful not to burn a bridge unless you really need to. But you want to be careful with the words, even if you do need to cut a tie with somebody. Helping you believe that tomorrow holds greater promise, regardless of today and its circumstances. Hold on to hope, as it will be the source of strength to move you forward. And the beautiful thing about this card is it's yellow like the sun. You're going to get where you need to be, but there's something you need to cut off. Keep the hope. Make sure the truth that you're seeing, that you don't ignore it. It is the divine timing for you. So I hope that was helpful for you. I'm going to take a quick pause. We're going to shuffle, and then we're going to move on to Gemini. All right, my beautiful Geminis. It's been raining here for like days, and the sun is starting to pop out a little bit. Oh my. So let's talk about you. This full moon is going to activate your 7th house. This is relationships. So we're talking partnerships, marriage, contracts, your commitments, business relationships, and your one-on-one dynamics. A relationship truth could become undeniable for you during this time. So for some Geminis, your commitments could deepen during this time. For others of you, you could have relationships that are ending. And then there's the experiencing of breakthroughs in communication. So you could attract important partnerships. You may realize what they truly need from others. So the full moon asks whether your relationships support your growth or limit it. So the balance of independence with emotional honesty is very important for you during this time. So let's get some cards and see what other messages we have for you. Oh, okay, this one really wants to come out. 2 of them. Gemini. Well, what do you expect? The twins, right? You got to have 2, right? You can't just have 1. There's 2 of you. All right, so we've got shadow and gratitude. So this is much like, when you see things in relationships, are you approaching them, from a shadow side, right? Is there something that needs to be worked on in order to connect with partners in your life? And that partnership will be different for everybody. But maybe it's having gratitude for learning through some of these relationships that may have brought out a shadow side, right? Some people do need to leave our lives. They come in and teach us lessons. And I think this is saying, be grateful for the lesson so you can move on. And for others, it can be also, you working, both you and your partner, whoever that might be, you both taking the time to work through the shadow side. King of Wands. The Knight of Pentacles. Oh, this one. All right. You get a lot of cards. All right. King of Wands, Knight of Pentacles, Three of Pentacles, Five of Pentacles, Five of Cups. So this is, this is saying, look, it might be time to speak up, to be bold, and to see that future vision that you've held a long time with the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles is a very slow-moving energy. So you, my friend, want relationships that you can build a stable foundation with, right? Somebody that's willing to work with you, right? None of us are fully healed, but we actively take steps in our life to become better people. And I think you have struggled with people that you needed to leave or let go of, that are spiritually or financially not good, right? They hold us down. And you've been in emotional regret and stagnation long enough. But now's the time to see the vision and hold it and start connecting with people that are willing to work with you and not go against you and keep you in constant sadness, right? And regret and hurt and spiritual and financial lack, I guess is a better way to say it, all right? And this is, big for you, learning who needs to be let go, who's willing to work with you, and who's going to come in and work with you as well. Let's get an emotional card. Detachment. Detachment is liberation from emotional or material dependence, allowing you to maintain independence and balance. Detachment is not about giving up, but rather releasing what no longer serves you, enabling you to view the world with clarity. Detachment isn't a bad thing, right? You already know, you already have a vision. You're passionate about where it is you want to go, what it is you want to do, who it is, or what kind of person you want to connect with. But being able to do that means you have to detach yourself. Okay, Five of Pentacles. You may need to leave somebody in the cold. I'm not saying there are some of you where you were left out. But some of you, you have to do the walking and detach. And be grateful for that lesson, so you can move on and and find yourself connecting with people who are willing to work with you and grow with you in these connections. So, Gemini, I hope that was helpful. Going to pause real quick. We're going to shuffle, and then I'm going to move on to Cancer. All right, Cancer, we are now going to move over to you. And this full moon, well, it's activating your 6th house. So this is about health, routines, work, productivity, and emotional burnout. So this energy may expose where you have been overextending yourself. You may find yourself realizing your current routines are not sustainable. Your stress levels are probably a little too high. The work-life balance needs change. Your body is going to need rest. This is a major reset period for you. So some Cancerians may find themselves leaving toxic jobs. You may find yourself restructuring schedules, or you may prioritize your healing. Your physical body may speak loudly during this lunation, so pay attention to what your body is telling you. All right? We don't want to get ourselves to the point where we end up with health issues because we're overstressed. All right? So let's see, what other messages do we have for Cancer, please, for this full moon? Oh. Jumpy little suckers. Grounded. Oh yeah, absolutely. So if you're not feeling really grounded during this time, you're going to want to. And being grounded also means to meditate, go for a walk, take a rest, change the schedule up a little bit so you can get yourself grounded. All right, what else do we have here? This is card 22. Reduces to 4. Getting stable, stabilizing yourself. Also, I'm hearing you're protected. 8 of Cups. Oh yeah. 8 of Cups. Judgment. Three of Wands. Yeah. You, with Judgment, you need to take a look at yourself and your situation. You know, this is where Archangel Michael is blowing the horn on you. So if you're feeling something emotionally that you're checked out of, right? You're already feeling the emotional, I'm checked out. Now, I don't know if that is a job or if you're around a group of people or somebody or a combination of everything during this full moon. Yeah, this is why you need to get grounded. Archangel Michael's blowing the horn and saying, you need to take a look at this, okay? You need to walk away from something that maybe you've been either waiting on that isn't happening. So there could, whether it's, a job, a person, something you've been waiting on, waiting on a little too long, and it's not healthy. So you could be holding on to a super busy schedule or being there for everybody, right? it's you putting in way too much of your energy during this time, and you're going to be forced to look at something. Archangel Michael's coming in, and they're going to illuminate something for you that you've been waiting on, and they're saying, it's time to check out. It's time to walk towards something else. All right? And pay attention during this time. So let's check on your emotions. You know, for a lot of people, the Eight of Cups is not bad. They can deal with it. But are you putting in too much of your time and energy into an Eight of Cups that actually could be a Ten of Cups if you let go of this? Because it looks like you're waiting for something to happen here that isn't happening, right? And the energy you're putting in should be paying out a Ten of Cups for you, right? Total happiness and fulfillment. And you're, you know, putting in more than what you're getting from the Eight of Cups. And I think it's time to walk away. Yeah, hope. Somebody else got hope. Maybe Taurus? I think that was Taurus. So if you have any Taurus in your chart, check out theirs. Hope is the bridge to the future, helping you believe that tomorrow holds greater promise, regardless of today's circumstances. Hold on to hope, as it will be the source of strength to move forward. This guy's walking away from the Eight of Cups. And you might be afraid to walk away from it because you're still waiting. You're still waiting for that ship to come in. You're waiting for that payout. And Archangel Michael's like, this has been long enough. Get yourself grounded, my friend. All right, ground yourself. Take a look at the situation. Is it really giving you what you're putting in? All right. So I hope that was helpful for you. I'm going to pause. I'm going to shuffle, and then we will go on to Leo. All right, my Leos, you are up next. We're going to find out what this full moon is doing for you. This one is activating your fifth house. So this is about being creative and passion. So the fifth house rules creativity, romance, pleasure, children, self-expansion, visibility, and passion projects. So the lunation pushes you back into your authentic fire. So many Leos will experience romantic revelations, creative breakthroughs, public attention, increased confidence, desire for freedom and joy. This is excellent energy for content creators, performers, artists, and entrepreneurs. But emotionally, drama could intensify. So avoid ego battles during this time. So let's see what other messages we have for you. I love that this is great. And the sun's starting to pop back out for you too. It was for Gemini. All right, what do we have here for Leo? Truth. Okay. So there could be a truth that you're getting to during this time. Seeing a truth. That's clearly what these full moons are about, right? Especially with your intuition opening up more. Tell us more. Whoa, we got a jumper. 7 of Pentacles. Eight of Swords. Okay, yeah. Four of Swords. Yeah, you're up in your head a lot, aren't you? About something, you know, there's a lot going on with, like I said, your creativity, public, being more in the public, your artistic, you know, some of you are, you know, actors, whatever that may be that you're doing, you know, it's okay for you to take a rest and then get back into what it is that you're doing, right? You know, I think you're going to realize during this full moon that you've been holding yourself back from what it is you want to do. You can look back and see how far you've come. 7 of Pentacles is not bad, right? It may not be where you want to be with your creative, you know, endeavors. And when you rest your mind and you take a break, sometimes you have to step away from something that you're doing, you know, in a creative way, right? It's like a bad hair day. The more you mess with it, the worse it becomes. So you take a step back. You come back tomorrow, you're refreshed. You get the hair looking the way you want it to look, right? So just remember that you're going to see how far you've come and that it's okay to take a break and then restart again. You know, a lot of times that's when our best creativity comes back out because we've taken a rest, right? We're not productive when we're tired or we're honing in on something too much. It doesn't work. And you're going to learn that it's okay to take a break and to reapproach, to come back. Wisdom and reflection. And you notice how they're the same colors. They go hand in hand. And this 4 of Swords is much like taking a rest, taking a break, detaching yourself, stepping away mentally, taking that break and reflect. Reflection is a process of reviewing and summarizing, allowing you to draw wisdom. And you pulled the wisdom card from past experiences. Like I said, you know, when you take a rest, you're gaining the wisdom of maybe what didn't work. And that's okay. You're going to gain that wisdom by reflecting. When reflection arises, it reminds you to assess your growth. 7 of Pentacles, you're going to look back and see how far you've come and not, you know, put yourself in a mental prison of you're not good enough. This isn't working out. I'm not going to be able to get this completed. No, that's not true. Assess the changes and gain insight from past lessons. So, what didn't work? What is going to work now after taking that break? Wisdom is a profound understanding and insight, allowing you to see essence of things. When wisdom enters your life, it reminds you to listen to your inner voice and find your own truth. Okay? And take the blindfold off and to see your own truth, to see the wisdom in this and reflect and start again. You will once again create the momentum you're looking for. But sometimes you just got to take a break. You got to step away. And it's okay to do that. And I think that's what you're going to see during this full moon. So now I'm going to pause. I'm going to shuffle. We will then go on to Virgo. All right, my Virgos. So this full moon is activating your 4th house. So this is about home, family, emotional foundations, ancestry, and your private life. So deep emotional truths could surface during this time. The themes that this could be around is your family dynamics. Could be about relocation, healing childhood wounds, emotional security, home changes, and setting boundaries. So you may realize certain environments no longer support your growth. Some Virgos may move, renovate, reconnect with family, or emotionally detach from the past. The full moon is helping you build stronger emotional foundations. So let's see what other messages we have for Virgos, please. Yeah, I feel like this could be very emotionally intense for Virgos during this time. Relief. Yeah. You know, getting yourself relief from foundations that don't emotionally support you, or getting relief from letting go of the past, whether it's something from childhood, you know, or a recent family dispute of some sort, right? Getting relief by setting boundaries so people don't overstep. Ace of Pentacles. Six of Wands. Nine of Swords. You know, this feels very much like some of you are very much worried that you will not be able to be successful with possibly moving or having the money to renovate. You know, it's like you are manifesting in relief to get away from an environment. And you don't, I felt like this was going to be really emotionally charged because you can see this person's extremely worried. They're not sleeping. Their anxieties, building. And during this full moon, yes, it is. But I feel you are going to be successful and gain relief, because relief is the first card out. That's the most important message that comes out when people do tarot and pull cards. So while you are worried and think you're not going to have relief on something new, okay, something solid, I'm noticing it's like a little house here too. So I feel most of you, this is going to be related to relocating or fixing something up in the home, for a big part of you. And there is going to be relief coming. There is going to be success. You are going to triumph through it. So if you think you're not, I do believe you are. But you are very much worried about it. You've been worried about it. All right, 2 cards. Miracle, jealousy. Miracle is a transformation that defies logic, showing you the infinite possibilities of the world. When a miracle appears, it reminds you to maintain faith, for anything is possible, and a miracle might be just around the corner. That's your relief. There is something happening that's going to give you what you need to do what it is that you need to do with your environment. Now, I don't know what that's going to be. For each of you, it will be different. Some of you, it really is just needing a new environment. You need to do something with the home. Maybe you're offering your home out to family. You're extending an offer out. Maybe you're worried about doing that. Jealousy. So jealousy is the desire for the want of what others have. So it's reflecting anxiety about unachieved goals. Okay? Jealousy arises when you reflect on lessons it brings. It reminds you to focus on your own growth rather than comparing yourself to others. I think this has come up for Virgo before I did a reading, and it was the exact same combination. So I feel like I'm talking to a collective of Virgos that are really just focusing too much on others around you and what their life is. You have to remember, for example, I'm not married and I don't have any kids. And a lot of people look at me and say, oh my gosh, you have this wonderful life. You can go and do as you please. No, not really. I mean, I could, sure. I have a dog that is very special. He cannot stay with just anybody. So when I travel, I have to take him with me. And so, no, I mean, I might not be attached to somebody, but I am attached to a dog that I cannot leave with just anybody. So I'm not as free as people might think I am, right? So sometimes when you're comparing your life to others, you don't really truly know what their life path is like. So we all have the balance of the upside of our life, and then we have the downside. That's with everybody. So don't compare your life, because you might be better off than the person you're comparing yourself to with the goals, right? Jealousy is not a bad thing. It can be, sure, but it's also showing you that there's a desire for something that you want related to your environment in your home, and renovating. Maybe you're, trying to keep up with the Joneses. You're looking at your neighbor's house and you're seeing that they put a pool in, or, you know what I mean? They have a landscaper that's done this beautiful, you can still do that as well. Maybe not the way they did it, but there is a way you can do it as well. It's just showing you, hey, I want that too. You know what I mean? And now I got to figure out how to be successful with getting it. But you have relief coming, all right? So Virgo, I hope that was helpful for you, all right? So I'm going to pause, I'm going to shuffle, and then we are going to go on to Libra. All right, my Libras. So this full moon is activating your third house. This is about communication, your mindset. It's media, learning, and speaking. It's about siblings and local environments. The full moon can bring important conversations for you during this time. You could have viral communication moments. You could be noticed publicly. And then you could have writing breakthroughs. And then there could be news or announcements happening during this time. So your voice becomes powerful right now. Be mindful of impulsive speech, because Sagittarius energy can become brutally honest. Some Libras may launch podcasts. Some of you may do YouTube channels. Some of you may do courses or social media projects. Information revealed now may change your perspective permanently. So let's see what other messages we have for our Libras. Yeah, so this is a big communication time for you, whether you break out on social media of some sort. It is, it's the times we're coming in. So if you have a business, you could very easily do part of that business advertising yourself on social media. Let's see, what do we got here for Libra? Death. Transformation. An ending of some sort to be able to begin. All right. Let's get a little more on this. Ooh. Seven of Swords. Two of Swords. That's you. That's your energy. Ooh. Eight of Swords. Ooh, that's a lot of air energy. A lot. you know, you could be in a situation where you've been lied to, somebody's maybe misrepresenting themselves. You know, you haven't wanted to maybe see this. All right. See how she's got the blindfold? You know, that's martyrdom, right? I don't like to say that, but you could be very well holding yourself back from something that is a lie. You know, don't forget, this is a big time for communication. And so be mindful of who's lying to you during conversations. You know, don't block yourself from seeing the truth so you can end whatever this may be, to move on. You really do need to see something during this full moon that you know, it's again, it's breakthrough, right? It can be about public visibility. So if you're watching a lot of social media, you know, you have to use your discernment to know what is the truth and what isn't. You might be caught up in conversations that are not truthful, whether that's you or somebody saying something to you. It could go either way. You know, not everybody that this can resonate with is a Libra sun, rising, moon, Venus. Like I say, I could be talking to somebody who doesn't have Libra in one of those, but has Libra, you know, in this particular house. All right. You need to use your discernment, you know, and see something during this full moon. All right. That's interesting. Letting go. Letting go is the process of releasing all past emotions and experiences, freeing yourself from heavy burdens. Letting go reminds you that only by releasing the past can you embrace a new phase of your life, allowing yourself to move forward with a lighter heart. This does look very, very heavy. We have two cards where there's a person that's blindfolded. I think you've been avoiding transformation, and you might have a conversation where maybe you realize you've been lied to, you've been deceived, tricked in some way, and you haven't wanted to make that decision on seeing it and letting go. And now during this full moon, you need to let go so you can transform and have a new beginning. But you've got to let go, you know, and that's just it too. You know, maybe you've had a lot of people lie to you, you know, and, you know, you're about truth and justice, and somebody hasn't been truthful with you. And now you're going to see that during this full moon. And full moons are about release and letting go. And you might finally find yourself understanding what's happening and what's being said in this conversation. so you can actually kill it, let it go, so you can move on. Okay, so Libra, I know that was intense. I hope you found that to be helpful. So you guys, I'm going to pause, shuffle the cards, and we will move on to Scorpio. All right, my Scorpios, let's find out what this full moon is doing for you. So it's activating your second house. So what does that mean? That impacts finances, self-worth, values, possessions, and personal stability. This is a powerful money manifestation period. The themes for the Scorpio collective includes some of you having financial breakthroughs. Others will have career shifts. Some will have income changes. And others valuing yourself differently. Others letting go of the scarcity mindsets. You may suddenly recognize your worth on a deeper level. Some Scorpios may leave underpaid situations or finally pursue financial independence. Emotionally, the full moon asks you, what are you settling for that no longer aligns with your value? So, what other messages do we have for the Scorpio collective? Yeah, this is big manifestation power for money and value, personal value. It's not all about money. Grounded. You're definitely going to want to make sure, if you're feeling really scattered and all over the place, which you could very well be because we have a lot of Gemini energy. Don't forget, Gemini is now in Uranus for the next 7 years. We're all learning to think differently. You, if you're feeling scattered, you're going to want to be very grounded during this time, especially if you're trying to manifest your money, your financials. King of Pentacles. Making that money. Making money, being financially well off, being secure financially, comfortable. 9 of Pentacles. Come on now. I got chills, man. They're multiplying just like your bank account. Oh my. Whoa. Oh, I got chills on my head. 9 of Wands. Look. Just make sure you're grounded during this time. Okay? Get out in nature. Meditate, make sure you're drinking your water properly. You know, you're persevering. 9 of Wands. You know, Scorpios do not give up. I'm a Scorpio sun. All right? I gotcha. When you have a goal where you want to be financially secure and independent, okay? A lot of you are pursuing financial independence. The 9 of Wands is, I'm good, baby. I'm good. I can pay for everything. I got money in the bank. I can put food on the table. I can provide for my family and myself. You know, you're persevering. You're going to keep going. The only thing this is saying is please remain grounded during this time. All right, let's check out your emotions. Man, that was on point. Scorpios, good for you. You're hard workers. When you have a goal, you stick to it. You know, you're like, I'm beat up. I got the bandana on my forehead. I've been knocked down a few times, but you're getting back up. That's Scorpio, the phoenix rising. You're never going to give up on what it is you set your mind to. Panic. See, that's why I said you've got to remain grounded. You're going to find yourself panicking, thinking that you're not going to be able to achieve your goals. Panic is an overreaction to anticipated events, causing you to lose your sense of reason. It reminds you to slow your breath, calm down, and reassess the situation. You have the ability to recover from chaos and regain control. That's why the first card out said, get grounded. You're going to find yourself panicking because Scorpio is a water sign. We feel our goals if you're a sun sign. Rising, it's your external situation, right? It's what's happening externally. Sun sign is the internal feeling. So if you're panicking, thinking, oh my gosh, I'm never going to be able to be financially independent and feel comfortable and stable. Yes, you are. But you have to remain grounded. You already are the one who's going to keep moving, who's going to keep pushing through. You're going to get there. But while you're getting there, don't panic. Okay? You've got to remain grounded. Scorpio, you've got this. King of Pentacles, baby. 9 of Pentacles. Like, come on. You're just going to be your own worst enemy from being scattered and panicking. That's it. You've got it. You already know how to put the work in. Don't let your mind play tricks on you. All right? I hope that was helpful for you. So I'm going to pause. I'm going to shuffle, and then we will move on to Sagittarius. Sagittarius, we are moving over to you, and this full moon is activating your first house. So this is your identity, your self-image, your purpose. It's independence, and it's your personal direction. Your entire life may feel illuminated. This is a powerful culmination point. So you may find yourself reinventing yourself. You may change your appearance. You may find yourself ending outdated cycles. And you step into visibility, releasing an old identity. Feel emotionally raw but empowered. This is a massive personal awakening for you. People are going to notice your energy more intensely. Your authenticity becomes magnetic, but emotions could feel overwhelming. Ground yourself before making any impulsive decisions. So this is a big one for you, Sagittarius, because it's your moon. All right, what other messages do we have for the Sagittarius collective? Focus. That's your card too, the bow and arrow. Yeah, you, my friend, I feel are extremely focused during this time. Can we get more? Extremely focused. Ooh, Emperor. ARIES energy. fire. The Knight of Wands, more fire. Wow. Three of Wands, just a little more fire. You're not fiery, are you? Just a little. Just a little fiery. Wow. You, my friend, are highly focused on... You are not waiting anymore. You're focused on actually making the decision, the changes, being the boss of you. Being, the Emperor is its own boss. The Emperor can finally make those decisions. The Emperor can be rigid, but I don't see that in this situation. I see you making a plan and finally stepping in to who you want to be. You're gaining the energy and you're not waiting around anymore. You're the one that's going to make the changes. And you're highly focused on doing this. This is why you're highly magnetic during this time. You are straight up fire, right? So you're illuminating yourself. People are going to feel that fire. And so they're going to be paying attention to you during this time because you are so fiery and focused on what it is that you're doing. And it's going to be different for all of you, right? Some of you are literally, you're going to go in and change your hairstyle, or you know what I mean? It's, wow. You're not waiting on your manifestations. You're going after them. You're taking the steps and showing the universe what it is that you want. And you're being authentic while you're doing it. Your energy is intense. I would suggest maybe grounding yourself a little bit though. Nostalgia. Nostalgia is a longing for the beautiful moments of the past, reminding you to cherish the experiences you've had and draw strength from them. Nostalgia allows you to remember past lessons without letting it become a limitation in the present. This is why so many of you are focused, because like I said, remember, you're not waiting anymore. You may have been stuck thinking about the past, and that held you back. And this full moon is giving you the energy to stop being stuck in the past. Now, there's nothing wrong with having the past. The past is what makes us who we are today. We all have a history. We all have a backstory. But you're not going to stay stuck in the past anymore. You're actively taking it upon yourself to make the decision to move forward with your fire, your energy, to go after what it is that you want. and you're not going to be stuck. It's okay to have memories, right? You just don't, and sometimes we flash back on those memories. That's why we have retrogrades, right? They force us to go back to take a look at things. And if you've gone back to the past and you've taken a look at something that hasn't worked for you, well, you've learned from it, because now you're extremely focused. What didn't work? Who didn't work? Why it didn't work? And you're like, okay, I got it. Well, guess what? I'm focused now and I'm moving forward. I am changing me and who I am. And now I'm going to be authentic. And people are going to see the real me, what it is that I want, what it is I care about, and what it is I don't care about. And you don't care. You don't care, because the Emperor doesn't care what people think. The Emperor does what they need to do to improve themselves or go after what it is that they want. They make those tough decisions. And you, my friend, are doing that. So I hope that was helpful for you. I'm going to pause, I'm going to shuffle, and then we're moving on to Capricorn. Capricorn, so now we are going to talk about you, and this full moon is activating your 12th house. So for you, this is about your subconscious mind. It's endings, it's healing, it's your spirituality, your dreams, isolation, and karmic closure. So this is deeply spiritual energy being in the 12th house, all right? So the Capricorn collective may feel a little emotionally exhausted, all right? You're going to be highly intuitive, and you're going to be drawn towards solitude. You're going to become more psychic and sensitive during this time. You will be called to release the past. So the full moon may expose hidden emotions you've been suppressing. Pay attention to your dreams during this time and the synchronicities. This is less about your external world, all right? It is more about the internal transformation. You are preparing for a major new chapter, my friend. What other messages do we have for Capricorn? Okay. Growth, absolutely. Being in the 12th house is where you're going to grow, right? You're learning about you internally, and you're getting more spiritual, right? When you become more psychic and intuitive, you're able to see through the BS, right? So this is a growing opportunity for you. What else do we have here? Yeah, 9 of Wands. Page of Swords. Yep. Eight of Swords. Yeah. So you are learning and watching. So while you are in isolation, now I'm not saying you're locking yourself in a room, but you will start to pull away from people, right? And when you pull back, you're able to see things about people that maybe you would not have seen had you continued to be in their presence, right? You're being called to the past. Remember that. And when you do, you need to blindfold yourself. Don't hold yourself back. This is a learning period. The Page of Swords is about learning. It's also about watching. Sometimes you need to see, what is it that you keep doing over and over that isn't working? What is holding you back from growing? So this is why your psychic and your intuition is opening up during this time, because they want you to go back to your past, take a look and learn, what are you holding yourself back from? What are you reapproaching that isn't working? Is it a person? Is it a place? Is it a situation? What is it? Because they want you to see it. They want you to learn from it during this time. All right? Because they want you to be able to grow as an individual. Somebody, something is holding you back from growing. All right. Let's get an emotional card for Capricorn. Repression. Repression is the state of hiding emotions or needs, preventing you from truly confronting your true inner self. When repression appears, it reminds you to release emotions and face your true self. Through expression, you will find inner wisdom. Remember, this is all inner work in the 12th house. Right? You know, this full moon may expose hidden emotions you've suppressed. So you may have not realized you were holding yourself back emotionally. And so that's why they're saying, go back. What do you keep doing that you're not doing? And they're saying, stop repressing yourself. You grow when you learn to make yourself uncomfortable by opening up, right? It helps you to transform yourself. So there's something in your past that you need to open up about, all right? Don't hold yourself back. You need to cut the blindfold off and stop holding yourself back and see it. See the big eyes on that guy? You see, he's looking up. He sees it. He, she, there's no gender in tarot. Because she's blindfolded, right? So it's all masculine and feminine energy here. But, and it's funny because there's a lot of purple. So that's the crown chakra when it comes to spirituality. Your crown chakra is going to open up and grow your psychic abilities to be able to see through the BS. And there's something you may need to open up about in the past. Person, place, thing, situation. That'll be different for everybody. Okay? So I hope that was helpful for you. I'm going to pause, shuffle. Then we're going to go on to Aquarius. Aquarius, you are up next, my friend. So this full moon activates your 11th house. This is about your friendships, your social circles, your communities, networking, goals, your future vision. Some friendships may end while others may actually deepen. You may realize who truly supports you, which environments inspire your growth, what future you actually want. This is highly activating for online visibility and audience expansion. So some Aquarians may actually gain followers. They could go viral, build communities. They could launch projects and collaborate publicly. Your long-term vision becomes more clear. So what other messages do we have for Aquarius? Time. Time is on your side right now. Divine timing. This is the time to know who supports you, who doesn't. If you're looking to do something online, maybe you want to start a channel, Don't forget, Aquarius is in Pluto. Right? So that's humanitarian. Maybe, there's something you want to talk about online. Maybe you want to do support for, animals. There's all kinds of things that you could do. And now's the time. Queen of Swords. You got to speak your truth. You may want to speak your truth online. Five of Pentacles. This feels very much like you're tired of people being in despair kind of thing. Three of Pentacles. It's like you want to see more people coming together, working together for the same... What am I trying to say? It's like you want to speak up for the cause. That's what I'm looking for. There's a cause. I don't know what the cause is, but you're tired of people being in despair, spiritually, I don't want to say low vibrational, but it is kind of, you want people to feel uplifted. You want them to come together. You want them to become more stable. There's a cause, and it'll be different for everybody. It's like you want people to improve themselves, and you want to speak up about this. And now's the time to do it during this full moon. It's activating you to go ahead and pursue, this cause. Yeah, it's like you're tired of people being, financially, down on their luck. People are, losing their houses kind of thing. It's faith. Having faith. You want people to have faith. Faith is a powerful belief that keeps you unwavering in the face of challenge. This is the challenge cards. It's spiritually depleted. It's hardship. People are, things are expensive. People can't afford things. They're losing jobs. They're losing houses. And you, I feel, want to speak up. You want to speak the truth and help people come together. And Spirit's telling you it is the time for you to go online. You could go viral by doing this, helping the cause. Faith is not blind. It is a deep trust in yourself and the universe's power. When faith appears, it reminds you to stay true to your beliefs. You have a belief and you're trying to show people the way, right? We're seeing a lot of news that helps people lose their faith. They don't believe in anything anymore because they are in hard times. And you want to build a community where people hold on to the faith that they will get through these hard times. I like that, Aquarius. I hope you start a channel or a page, and I hope I find you because I'm going to follow you. So I hope that was helpful. I'm going to pause, I'm going to shuffle, and then we're going to go on to Pisces. Pisces, last but not least. So what is this full moon doing for you? Well, it is activating your 10th house. What is this about? This impacts career, reputation, public image, your success, authority, and your life direction. This is major visibility energy. Career breakthroughs, promotions, recognition, or sudden professional changes may occur. So some Pisces may change their careers. Others are going to step into leadership roles. And then some become publicly recognized. Others, you're going to launch businesses. And finally, gain major opportunities. This full moon asks whether your current path truly reflects your purpose. You're being pushed towards greater visibility and alignment. So let's see what messages we have for Pisces. Yes, big opportunities, huh? Leadership roles, changing it up. All right, what do we got for Pisces? What messages? Message. So some of you are quite literally going to receive a message during this time. Interesting. So you may hear that there's an opportunity coming, or maybe you are being asked to step into a leadership role, or you're receiving the message that your business is ready to launch. Ace of Pentacles, there it is. That's the opportunity. You're receiving a message about the opportunity. Page of Swords. Sun. You're learning that there's a new opportunity coming in that you're going to hear about. That's going to make you very happy. It's going to put you, some of you, in the spotlight. You know, the sun, right? It's bright. It's out there. It's in the spotlight energy. It's going to feel really happy, and you're going to learn about this. All right? It's the opportunity that you want. It's coming through. It's going to be different for each of you. I don't know what it is that you want, but damn if it isn't coming in. Okay? And you're going to learn about it, right? You're going to hear about it, right? Page of Swords is the message as well. But you're definitely learning about this coming in during this time. So let's get card, an emotional card. Ambivalence is the inner tug of war between different choices, leaving you torn when making decisions. When you feel ambivalence, it reminds you to face your inner needs. Finding balance will allow you to make the choice that aligns with your true self. So some of you may be torn between a couple of things. You may have a couple of messages coming in. You may have a couple of opportunities. Remember, this is about gaining major opportunities. So you may be torn between you launching a business and, you know, your current job offering you a leadership role. And this is when you're going to need to step back and say, okay, what am I truly aligned with? So you make the correct decision for yourself. So some of you may actually be torn between two opportunities. Whoa. You know, because you got to say, you know, here's the message, first thing down, you know, here's, you know, possibly another message that you're learning about. Wow. I love that for you, Pisces. That is wonderful. So, the final message for the collective here. This full moon is about awakening. It's liberation. It's truth. It's about expansion. For many people, this lunation is going to feel like a turning point between the old timeline and the new one. So the collective is being asked to release limiting beliefs, stop shrinking yourself, and move toward a future that feels aligned with your soul. Sagittarius energy reminds us that growth often requires risk. And this blue moon may push many of us out of our comfort zones and into destiny. Pay attention to what is revealed. Pay attention to what feels emotionally unbearable. Pay attention to what suddenly becomes clear. Because this full moon is not here to keep us comfortable. It's here to wake us up. So if you like this type of content and you like this style of the astrology and me doing the tarot, make sure you subscribe, hit the like button, share, comment. It helps to push this video out to a broader audience. It helps me to grow, and it helps me to put more energy into this type of content for the collective. I love you guys. I hope it was helpful. Happy full moon, and most of all, blue moon, the rare blue moon that expands each and every one of us. I love you guys, and I will talk to you soon.